Yeah, hello, guys. It's a great opportunity to be among you guys, and thumbs up to the team behind the Unific Blockchain Conference 2024, and yeah, compliment of the season from here. On behalf of the Team Nigeria team, I just want to congratulate everyone who is physically on this event and joining virtual. So my name is Chukwemeka Nakumbe. Yeah, I've been asked to take Redefining Leadership in Blockchain. So I'm so excited, and I believe after this, um, yeah, we'll have a better approach of leadership, coming up leadership. All right. So why this topic matters? Um, I believe my colleagues have given you a very simplified, um, introductory into blockchain. That's for those joining for the first time. If this is first time, I believe you've gotten a very basic understanding of blockchain. So I'll just go straight to the point. One thing you need to know about this ecosystem is that blockchain is decentralized by nature. So it's not a one-man show, but it's our show. We own the space, you know, and this technology is challenging the traditional hierarchy leadership, models. So it's demanding innovative approaches in every phases, where we implement integrate blockchain aspect. All right, I go to the next slide. So what does leadership mean in blockchain? Um, um, from the centralized point, um, it is when an entity, an actor, controls, have the total controls of the whole what's happening. But on the space, you have a couple of actors, spread across, deciding on how the technology will go. So one man can't come and decide how this technology go. So from decentralized to decentralized leadership, that's what we're transiting from. And you're familiar with traditional leadership from the top down, the hierarchy, and it is governed by a central authority. So, but on the blockchain leadership, some of the attributes you were saying here is the roles are distributed, So, my role is replicated to someone in Kano, in Anambra, in Bauchi, and even in the same location, we can have a couple of actors still doing the same roles I'm doing. So, in any in any time I'm not existing, somebody is doing that work. So my non-existence won't stop the approach, won't stop the technology, or won't stop the process. The process will just keep going. So, and also the attribute about this leadership, about this ecosystem is we have a collective decision making. Uh, Collective decision making. So not one person making a decision, but it's collectively. And then you can see it's transparency. So that's the beauty about this space. Ever since I delved in, I have put in all to see that I promote the adoption of this technology. So congratulations once more, and I just challenge you to kind of do more research and kind of like write some articles about um, leadership in the space. So one of the threats you'll find is many like the existing leaders in the space. Common threats. I kind of outline into 4 point here. Visionary thinking. So this space needs visionaries. So if you're a visionary, you're thinking greatly. So we need you in the space. So you keep anticipating trends and guiding communities toward innovation. So if you look at one actor in the space, Vitalik. Vitalik is the right, and he keeps dropping, and that has really governed, helped the Ethereum ecosystem. So we have a couple of actors in the space, a couple of leaders in the space. So uh, Richard Decay. So as a player in the industry, you can't do it alone. You just have to do it with the team, collaborating. So it's not a one-man show. Um, it's collaborations. So every leader in the space is open to collaboration. And with this building ecosystem helps. whilst we're building ecosystem, we're empowering others. You know, I've been empowered by the ecosystem and I've replicated myself and will continue replicating myself across. You know, transparency. So the ecosystem is transparent. What is being obtainable here is same thing as obtainable there. So you don't have like a bias side. Here is favorable, this other side, no, it is transparent. So you can all see it and you can always query if there's any decision that you're not okay with. So, and also it's aligned with the blockchain ethos of openness. So in the space we have the ethos of openness, and that's what we all agree, all the actors, and we're driving towards that. Adaptability. So it's navigating a fast evolving technology landscape. So we're happy that in Africa, Nigeria is really playing a strong role in terms of adoption. So that's to tell you the fast evolving technology, how it's evolving, in the whole world. So if you kind of like look at the map in terms of adoption, you see Africa is really playing a very critical role in terms of adoption. So there are so many real world application, real world um, um, assets, real world applications that are being, developing, being shipped to the ecosystem. And these are most of these rewards are coming up from this space in Africa. So, what are the key challenges of leadership in blockchain? Uh, so, one of those things I've been able to outline is navigating decentralized governance. So, when we talk about decentralized governance, there is an issue here in terms of navigation. So, leaders must facilitate consensus rather than impose decision. So, it is decentralized, and one of those things that guide this technology is consensus. So, as a leader, you must, facilitate that whatever domain you are overseeing, you kind of encourage consensus, not imposing your decisions. So that's it. So an example is DAOs. So for those who are just hearing DAOs mean decentralized autonomous organizations. This depend on leaders who guide rather than control. So DAOs, decentralized autonomous organization, is depending on the leaders, you know, to guide the whole process. So there's no control in this aspect. Another point here is also building trust in pseudonymous networks. So in the space, um, a lot of us are playing, and we don't want to be known by our name, by our own social identity. So we have what we call a unique identity, and in Ethereum, that's what has been helping. And Vitalik has been, has been on the forefront for this. Trust is a system versus individual. So, building trust in pseudonymous networks, where you don't know Mr. A or B, but you only identify by unique identifier. So we must build trust. We must build trust, and we must trust the system. Once there's a system, so you see the result. It's overwhelming. So so we need to like see how as a player, as a leader, we need to see um, how the system is actualized. Is working. You know, so we don't need individuals in the space, but we need a system. And I don't need to know you, but I just need to, well, as long as we've agreed unique identifier, I can identify A, identify B. I don't need to know whoever is behind, but that's the system that keeps the ecosystem moving on. So Vitalik emphasizes on Ethereum open source nature over personal influence. Vitalik is the founder of Ethereum, but you can't say him, um, you know, prevailing over the governance. But you see, everyone is part of the ecosystem. Everyone is part of. So, and he has always emphasized on Ethereum open source nature. So that's the beauty about Ethereum. space. So another challenges of leadership in the blockchain is fostering inclusivity as inclusiveness. So, as a leader, we should work towards ensuring representation across diverse geographies, cultures, skill sets. Uh, example, see what's happening in Eat Global, Eat Nigeria, 500 Beats. The goal is simply onboarding global communities, irrespective of where you are, being you're in Anambra State, you're residing in Newi, you're residing in Nene, you're residing in Oka, you're residing in Umuleri, you're residing in Onitsha, wherever you are, same goal, same global goal is applicable to your community, giving you that feel. So the more actors come into this, the more we'll be able to onboard the next billion users on the space. So we need to foster inclusivity in the space, and um, if you happen to have this information, you don't just keep it to yourself, but you try to like see how we share this information across. The next one is managing rapid change and uncertainty. How do we manage this? So, as a player, we should be able to balance innovation with risk management. Example is, every country has their own, regulatory, every country, so navigate regulatory landscape and technical upgrades. So we should be able to like improvise, iterate, come up with how to a model that works, and it keeps working. So we cannot just be static. It's not this model is not working. We just need to keep improving, innovating, and then just manage the whole process. This is just one of those things in seeing that the leadership blockchain prosper, triumph. So we shouldn't limit. This is actually a factor that is a challenge in the leadership. But as a player, we just need to fly, keep flying. So we'll be going to the next point, redefine leadership practices now. So I believe after this talk, I want to see you aiming to be a blockchain leader in the space. Join us in the space and make this thing a whole beautiful space. So one of those things you can you know, or one of those things that I am few of many of my friends are doing is community-driven leaderships. We identify you, we give you a platform to encourage you, we show you what I know, and then you also fly, you also replicate. So that's the whole process. Leaders as facilitators, I'm facilitating. I'm also a steward. I can't being a convener of this. Okay, example, the convener of this event, nothing stop them from be the steward, be your steward. So it's leaders are facilitators and stewards rather than authoritative figures. So we all do our things in our own space. I believe in the next we are the next army. So forget about the current leadership, currently in the country, but let's try to develop our own and then just watch ourselves in the next 5, 10 years and see how this technology will really impact our day-to-day life. So example of the heterogeneous international communities. We ambassadors champion. So ambassadors champion local initiatives while aligned with the global goal. So Ethereum has a model. So we as an ambassador we kind of champion stuff in our different networks. So wherever you can reach, I cannot reach this. So you're expected to like do the same thing. So this is one of those things blockchain leadership is doing, redefining leadership, focus on education and empowerment. So one thing we're taking very serious is creating opportunities for others to learn and read. So that's what that's why you consider you're here attending this uh, conference by the uh, Unity blockchain Unity blockchain lab. So it's something that's is timely. They've done it last year and doing it this year again, and it's for your sake, for our sake, to keep growing. We keep learning. We keep asking questions. We keep networking, and you, you don't know where we'll meet next. So we need this education seriously, and this is an empowerment. Thumbs up to the team behind this. So we organize workshops, hackathons, mentorship program for developers and entrepreneurs. So another way of redefining leadership in the space is sustainability and ethics in leadership. So we're prioritizing long-term value creation over short-term gains. So we advocate for ethical practices in decentralized systems. So we're not about the short time, we're looking at the long-term goals, you know. So we advocate ethical practices in decentralized ecosystem. So we don't want to have decentralized practices here, but ethical practices, you know. So um, you've been entrusted to this, you use it for this purpose, and then don't uh, think of how you embezzle. No, we're not looking at embezzlement here, you know. So all this is to be tracked. So we have what we call a proof of work, you know, and proof of trust. So that's one thing about the space. So we encourage ethics and sustainable ethics in leadership are very key stuff. Uh, Leveraging technology for leadership. So we know that leaderships, a lot of technology has emerged, and we must adopt this technology to help us to be more efficient and to be more you know, proactive with our leadership. So on the space we leverage technology for leadership. Uh, uh, what are the technologies? Technologies like DIAL, decentralized autonomous organization. So smart contracts. Instead of having a couple of disputes, we employ smart contract technology in that system. You know, so what smart contract is when an agreement is made and is being automated. Condition A is met, it is you know it is deployed. If B is if it's not if A is not met, it's declined. So this is a lot of system needs to automate the agreement processes instead of having disputes, having going back and forth. So smart contracts really helped outside that in terms of finance, tokenizing lands, assets, tokenizing education, academics, and stuff like that. So it's a welcome initiatives. Decentralized identity systems, yeah. So the space needed these days now. We in terms of health sector, some health sectors have really embraced this technology, whereby a patient has his or record is already on the chain or the blockchain space. So he or she has a digital identity. So with that digital identity, you can access the record of that person. So you don't need to start running a test over and over. You can always, if you have access to that patient identity, you can be able to like study a pattern, and then and with the help of AI, you'll be able to like recommend more efficiently. So it's technology has really helped and will keep helping to increase accountability and transparency. Um, we'll be looking at the African context in terms of leadership opportunities. One point is emerging market leadership. What does this mean? You agree with me, African has been on the front frontier of blockchain adoption, areas like financial inclusion, supply chain, and governance. So because we need this technology, like this technology is applicable, we have no many cases that this technology is applicable. So I'm so happy with what Nigeria is doing, Kenya is doing, Ghana is doing, South Africa is doing, a couple of other locations. In terms of project like Cello Mobile First DeFi solutions for the unbanked, we can see it happening real cases in Africa. You know, there was a time I was an intern with emerging uh, um, with the company Emerging Technologies. And then we had a project with the Peace Corps, and then partner with Cello, and then we had to use Cotani here in disbursing funds. So you can see so many, and our target was the unbanked. So these guys, you know, being rewarded for their inputs using this project. So it's something that African is already doing a lot, and you can see you can have this case study in some refugees camp or this IDF camp in the northeast of Nigeria. You see this technology helping out in a big way. Um, okay. So, nurturing local systems. So, in the African context, leadership opportunities. This technology is giving us the opportunity to nurture our local ecosystem by promoting collaboration between developers, policymakers, and entrepreneurs. Example is what we have the Anambra Web3 conference, the blockchain UNN conference, the Unity blockchain conference. All these are fostering collaborations. My friends from Enugu are here, and a couple of other locations they're here. You know, and well, it's because of this technology, the discussion that brings us together. So after this, now we'll begin to think of what we can do for other southeast locations, or northwest or southwest or thereabouts. All right. So in terms of leadership opportunities in the African context, we're looking at advocating of policies that encourage innovation. You agree with me? There has been a there has been a knowledge gap in the space, and and this our work is to create that forum where we educate our leaders, engage them, and also the incoming leaders as well, educate them so that there won't be a knowledge gap. They'll be able to like advise. They'll be able to like keep very good policies that will favor the ecosystem. So we need to keep engaging government and regulators to support blockchain growth while addressing concerns as well. Uh, Case study of exemplary blockchain leadership. I always call it type, um, he's been awesome. He's been an awesome leader in the space. Uh, he's visionary for smart contracts and decentralized applications, has focused collaborations and inclusivity. So I just give it up to him. And then Catherine Gill. Catherine Gill has been driving what we call the stablecoin, the CBDCs. She's been driving blockchain-based cross-border payment innovation. She has been on top. So today we're enjoying stablecoins. These are some of the efforts of Catherine and Co. A lot of them in space. Okay, so that's the few example I've been able to outline here. Locally, we have a lot of them still coming up. So now these are some steps for you to become a blockchain leader. One, you need to engage with communities like Unity Blockchain lab, and join the community, grow with the community, learn with the community. Be a contributor to this community. So for some of you attending this event for the first time, you need to be a contributor. Next year begin to aim to be contribute into this wonderful event. John Dials, decentralized autonomous organization around once try to contribute to open source project. There's so many open source out there. Participate in blockchain events, like this. A couple of some will be bringing. You need to also stay informed. You need to continue learning about blockchain trend, emerging protocols, and governance models. You just keep staying in front. You don't need to relax. After this, I need you to like articulate what you've learned and put it there out there for somebody to learn as well. Build and lead projects. Develop solutions for real world problems, leveraging blockchain technology, as well. Advocate for adoption. Educate your local community and policies makers about potential. So we need to keep doing this. So thank you so much. I hope you're blessed. You can always reach out to me via my email, and then you can join our community in Nigeria. You can just feel free to ask any questions. So thank you at this point in time. I'll be happy to answer any questions. Thank you, guys.